Good morning. Welcome to Pinky Balls Cakes, Cookies, and Candy. And I'm Mary. And I hope that y'all are warm wherever you are. If your weather is bad, I know some of you have snow. Some of it, I think I seen in Boston where there's flooding. So it's been cold here. It got down, I think, in the 20s last night. But it's climbing on up, so it looks like it might be pretty nice day today. So that's encouraging because I have some things to do, but I'm looking out the window and the wind's blowing, so when it's 40, 50 degrees and the wind's blowing, it is colder. So, but thank y'all for joining me. And I told y'all yesterday I hadn't decided what I was going to make today. I had something else in my mind, and the reason I didn't tell y'all is because I wasn't sure. But I'm wanting to do some candy and cookies and things. Of course, next week I will be doing all cookies or candy, all that kind of stuff. But I'm making Butterfinger Balls today. I've been wanting to make these for a long time. And I bought my Butterfingers. I bought several of the Butterfingers, and I was going to chop them up. And then I was in the store the other day, and they've got the Butterfinger. It's called Butterfinger Bites in a package in the bacon section. So I got them, and I've already made one batch of these Butterfinger Balls this morning. They are easy to make, but they're not quick. It's a procedure you have to go through. And when I opened the first bag this morning, it's got big chunks in it. And so I chopped them up. So I'm going to chop this up, and I'm going to pour them out here on my, I don't know if all the bags will be, have the big chunks in it or not, but to make the balls, them chunks is going to be too big. So I'm just going to take a knife and go through and chop up those larger pieces. Butterfinger and Snickers is my two favorite candy bars. I'm not crazy about candy. I never have eaten much candy. But if I was going to eat candy, it would be a Butterfinger or a Snicker. And when I was growing up, I liked Zero candy too. I'm not much on anything chocolate. And I think that's why that I eat the Zeros. Because it was white chocolate and not dark chocolate. But I'm not going to chop these up all completely. The recipe said crushed. And, the ones I made this morning is the first time that I have ever made them. So, I'm kind of experimenting on a few things different from what the recipe called for, but I'll tell you what it is. And I don't think when this recipe was made that they had this, and it says crushed. So that's why I am crushing them a little bit. I just don't want them in big chunks because I want to make small balls. So I'm trying just to do the big pieces. And it calls for 1.5 cups of crushed Butterfingers. Thank you, Sandy, for the stars. You're also, y'all are so faithful and kind and show your love and support. We appreciate that. So anyway, this will be something different because, like I said, I've never made these. But another reason I wanted to go ahead and make them before our Christmas dinner, because probably won't have these at my Christmas dinner. I'll probably give these away before then. It's because one of my great-grandsons, little Aaron, he's allergic to peanuts. So I can't have anything peanut butter, anything peanuts. And I don't want to have it on the table. Now, I do make the Mississippi mud, and it has pecans in it, but I think the last few times she said it was okay that he could have the pecans. But I do usually make him some without the nuts. And then I make all the rest of us some with the nuts. But I'm not going to make anything peanut butter. Not even have it in the house. He's so allergic to it, he can't even have anything touching. Like if it's had peanut butter or peanuts in it, he can't even have it if it's touched something. So anyway, now this calls for 1.5 cups of this. And I didn't have my 1.5 cups out because I just used the whole package on the ones I made this morning. But I'm going to remeasure them after I chopped them up because I did not measure after I chopped them. And I'm thinking that it might make a little difference. So I'm going to measure and see if I still have 1.5 cups after I chop them up. Might not make any difference, but my dough was a little wet when I followed the instructions totally. And so I thought, well, maybe that's the reason. It's because it made a difference after I chopped them up. But we'll see. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it might be more. But I'm going to use the whole bag. I had that extra bar there I was going to use if I needed to, but I don't believe I'm going to need to. So it did make, so just use the whole bag, and that's what I wanted to find out. And I'm not cutting this up on my boards that I cut my onions and veggies on, because that piece there probably needs to be chopped a little more. I don't know onion smell in my cookie, in my balls, cake balls. I didn't pack this completely full, but it's close to it. Okay, all right. So I could have avoided that, measuring that, and just used the package, but I wanted to check that out to see. All right, I have 1 stick or 1/2 cup of softened butter in my bowl. I'm putting that whole package of Butterfinger bites. I'm gonna just stir it around a little bit before I add the other, just because it just a little harder when you mixing everything up at the same time. Or you can put it all in here together. That's what I did this morning. I just put it all in here together and mix it up. It takes 1 cup powdered sugar. The recipe calls for 1 cup, and that is what is on the website. But I'm going to mix this up, and I may add a little more powdered sugar. I did this morning when I made them because the dough was too wet. I couldn't hardly handle it. So I did add a little more powdered sugar, but I'm giving you the recipe of what's on the website. And if it turns out that I have to add a little bit more powdered sugar, then I will change it on the website. This is creamy peanut butter, and that's a cup. A cup of creamy peanut butter. So now I just mix it up. That's butter, peanut butter, powdered sugar, and peanut butter finger bites, bits, just whatever. And if you don't have those in your store, I got those at Walmart. But if you can't find them, just chop you up some Butterfinger bars. You can mix this up with your hands or a spoon, whatever, however way you want to do it. But just get all your powdered sugar and butter through there. That's one reason I did my butter first, got it in with the Butterfinger pieces, is because I wanted to make sure I got the powdered sugar. I sifted my powdered sugar, y'all. So I don't know if that makes a difference, because it says on the recipe to roll these out in your hands. This dough here is too wet to roll in your hands without adding something to it. So that's one reason that I did add a little more powdered sugar. Let me get all that powdered sugar off this spoon. Okay, I'm gonna show you. This dough here, it's too wet to roll in your hands. I'm gonna put, this is 1/4 cup, but I'm not gonna use about half of it, so that's about 2 tablespoons of more powdered sugar. I'm not putting a lot. I will add those 2 tablespoons to the recipe when I'll go back on the website whenever I get off of here, and put 2 more tablespoons of powdered sugar. You still can't mix it with your hands. I use a cookie scoop. That's what I used this morning. Okay. It's thick. The only way that I think that you could roll these in your hands is if you had powdered sugar on your hands. But I didn't do it because I didn't want that much powdered sugar incorporated in this. So, I'm gonna, you don't bake these. That's what I'm saying. It's an easy candy recipe to make. It just takes, you have to put them in the freezer. Okay, all right. That's my dough. Let me get this out of my way. And I'm gonna wipe that counter off. I put parchment paper on a cookie sheet, on a pan. You don't, I'm not getting this hand wet. You just take parchment paper, just something, wax paper, parchment paper, or cookie mat or whatever. You just need something that to drop your balls on. I'm using the tiniest, I think this is a teaspoon, cookie scoop, and it works fine. And just pat. And these, I don't want to get no bigger than this because of the cups that I'm putting it in. And you just put it down on your, the ones I made this morning, it made about 40 balls. I'm just going to fill this pan, and then I'll set it aside. And now, whenever you, when you put these in the freezer, if you, after they get cold, then you can take them out and roll it into a ball. Not after they freeze, but before they freeze and after they get cold, then you can roll it. I think that may be that was some of the instructions that was left out of it. You know, sometimes people don't give you all the instructions. And you know what? I like to know those extra little things, you know. But you can, which I did this morning. When these get cold, just take them and smooth them up, make a better ball. But I had to make room in my freezer. I'm telling you, I got so much. I need to try to thin my freezer out. These don't spread, so you can put these as close as you want to on the paper. And I'm just going to fill this pan, and then I'll show you what's the next step. And I'll finish them on air. This, like I said, this makes 40, which is a pretty good little batch. And I made 2 batches, so I'm going to have a lot of these. And they're good, too. If you wanted to do crunchy peanut butter, I don't think that would hurt at all. If you want crunchy peanut butter. But the recipe called for creamy, but you know, you can always substitute sometimes. So it's this little scoop is just the right size for, and if you don't have this smaller cookie scoop, use a teaspoon and just take 2 teaspoons, but fat, and then put it on there, and then let it get cool, and then shape it into a ball. If you don't have a small cookie scoop, just do that. Okay, I could get a whole lot more on this pan, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop so I can show you the next step. I will put this in the freezer because my freezer's in the pantry, so I'll put that in there in a few minutes. But the next step is you can use semi-sweet, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever chocolate you want. 2 cups. This is 1 tablespoon of Crisco, hard vegetable oil, vegetable shortening. I'll have to get the scoop to get that out. Let me go ahead and get that out. But what I did this morning, the recipe calls for 2 of these. 2 tablespoons. And it helps harden, helps melt it, and it also helps harden your chocolate. I just personally thought 2 tablespoons would be enough, would be too much, so I'm just putting 1. This morning I actually put coconut oil, and I want to see the difference, and I'll let y'all know. Between the Crisco and the vegetable, the coconut oil. Let me put 2 cups. This prep bowl has measurements on it. On the side. Let's see, let me find it. There it is. And I used semi-sweet this morning. I started to use milk chocolate, but I decided there's another recipe that I want to use the milk chocolate on. Okay. All right, I got this big bag at Sam's because I knew I was going to be using a lot of chocolate chip. But what I did this morning, I used a tablespoon of coconut oil. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if there is a difference in using the Crisco in this. I'm going to melt this in 30-second intervals. So, there's my coffee cup. Oh. That, I make me a cup of coffee, and I won't drink half of it, and I'll wind up walking away and it getting cold. I put it in the microwave and reheat it, and I still forget to go back and get it. I'm not much of a coffee drinker. I actually use a lot of creamer in it too. Let's see. Get some chocolate flakes on the counter. All right, let me get my chocolate out and stir it. Stir it with a different spoon. Which is 30 seconds is not enough, but you have to stir it around because, you know, in the microwave it heats up in the center, so it takes a few times. Put it back in there for another 30 seconds. It won't take over 3. It might not take but 2. I think I did 2 30 seconds and 1 20-second this morning. But I have to watch it because you can burn your chocolate very easily in the microwave. So I try to watch it closely because I'm not very good at melting chocolate. I've had so many disasters with it. Linda has it down pretty pat, but I don't quite have it down as good as she does yet. Of course, she's done a lot more baking than I have. Okay. All right. All right, it's not melted yet. So, I'm going to do it. I've done it 230 seconds. And my microwave is 1250 watts. So it does get hot. You can use a fork, or if you've got one of these little things, you can use this. This is the ones I did this morning that I just took out of the freezer. Okay, I think that might have been all so 230 seconds. Ouch, that was a little hot. And 120. There's a few little chips in there that's not melted, but don't reheat it. Just keep stirring it till it melts it all. Okay, it looks like, see, okay, all right, I'm going to set that aside, and these are the ones I made this morning that's in the freezer. I'm going to get me a fork. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this. I didn't use this morning. I will tell you, because these are kind of flat on the bottom, try to keep it flat when you put it in here, because when you put it back on the on your parchment paper. Now you can get another pan and put the parchment paper on another pan. I'm just gonna put it right back on this one. You just kind of want to get the excess chocolate off. And then just it down. I don't know which works the best, the fork or this. I've used this before, but it seems like it gets too much chocolate, but it just takes time. This is easy. It just takes time. Put it on your, I'm thinking that the Crisco is going to work better, and I'll tell you why. The coconut oil, the chocolate is, when it dries, it's still a little soft. And I can tell already that I can't even get my spoon. I don't know what you call this thing, but it was turning on me. It did it again. I don't know, my hand. I don't know why. What's going on? Put it down. Now, since some of you may not have this little thing, I'm going to just get this off, and then I'm going to show you how it works with the fork. You know, I'm not used to using this little thing, and I've had it for years. But when you're not used to using something, it takes a little longer to. So I'm going to show you. You just use a fork. See, you just shake it. I'm sure all of y'all, most of you have made candy before, and y'all understand this. And I just take another fork, and then it's just easier to get off. You see how much easier that was? I'm just going to do a few because this does take a while. I have to do them, but I don't want to keep y'all. If you got other things to do, I'm telling you, this time of the year, everybody has a lot to do. You're probably most of you are getting ready to have a dinner at your house on Christmas, or are you leaving to go somewhere? And it doesn't take long for these to thaw out. But once you get that chocolate on there, they're going to stay. They're going to be, it's like having a shell around it. So, that's how you do it. I'll do one more and then I'll show you the ones I've already done. Yeah, these, I'm going to pick that one up there in a few minutes, the first one I done, to see whether the shell, the chocolate has hardened yet. Okay. This is the first one that I done, and it has already hardened. It's already all hard. Now I'm going to show you. When they get completely, when they harden, after they harden, you can put these in back in the refrigerator for them to get hard. Actually, if your balls are frozen, you don't have to put them back in the refrigerator once you put your chocolate on them. But see, I got these little bitty cups. That's why I said do your balls in little balls. And actually, that 1 teaspoon is actually too big for these little cups. See how tiny they are? The little, these are Santa Claus. I've got some that's gingerbread. I pick up everything I can find that's gingerbread. I'm not doing these gingerbread. I'm just doing these in the Santa Claus ones. But just put them in these little cups. Now I'm going to show you the difference. This right here has been a while. See, that chocolate is a little bit soft. And I think that it's because I use coconut oil instead of Crisco. So, that's, there they are. I'm going to taste one of them. I told you this was a quick, it's an easy recipe. But see, that chocolate is a little soft, and I may put some Crisco, because I still have some chocolate left from this morning. But I opened another package just so y'all could see from the beginning to end how I done it. But see, the chocolate is it's still soft, so I'm going to put Crisco in it, another tablespoon. Thank you, Jesus. It's delicious. Now, if your balls get soft, just put them back in the freezer. And once they're frozen, you can put them in a Ziploc bag, and it won't take up all your space. But that is delicious. But that chocolate that I did this morning is a little soft. So I'm going to put another tablespoon of vegetable oil in it. So if you want to add 2 tablespoons is what it says on the recipe. But I live and learn. And 2 is probably what you need. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna take my gloves off. These are some that I didn't put in the little cups. These are almost too big for the little cups. But I was trying to get them that I made this morning smaller than these. But because these balls is frozen, this will harden up a lot quicker. And these I probably will put back in the freezer because these are a little soft. But once you get them, once I put some more Crisco in them, then it'll harden up. All right, let me read you the recipe. The recipe is 1½ cups of crushed Butterfinger candy, 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, 1 cup of powdered sugar, and I did add 2 more tablespoons of powdered sugar to make the batter a little bit thicker. And 1/2 cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter, and the butter needs to be soft. And you just mix all that up together and then freeze, make balls with either a cookie scoop or using 2 teaspoons. And then you freeze them. Now, my freezer's so full, it took longer than 30 minutes for my candy to freeze. So I probably left them in there an hour. So it depends on your freezer. If your freezer ain't full, you might be able to get by with 30 minutes. And then your chocolate is 2 cups of chocolate chips. And you can use milk or semi-sweet or dark chocolate, whatever your preference is. And 2 tablespoons of vegetable shortening or coconut oil. I think I'm going to use the shortening instead of the coconut oil. I think it made it a little bit too thin. And then you can use a fork, a toothpick, or whatever you have to dip your Butterfinger balls in, and then put them back on the parchment paper, and it makes a good little candy. It's like peanut butter chocolate candy. And you can put them in little muffins, little paper cups, or you can just put them out on a tray. But I think I'm going to put these back. I'm going to put these in the freezer and keep them in the freezer until I get ready to use them. So let me see if y'all had any questions. See if I can read any of it. It was an easy recipe, but like I said, it just takes time. Let's see here. Thank y'all for joining me this morning, Karen and Linda. I think Carla is on the other end. Carla is monitoring this morning. She had business to take care of yesterday, but she's monitoring. And if there's any scammers on there, she probably booted them off or warned them or something. Anyway, I know y'all got lots to do today. And it's been a busy week for me. I was just thinking this morning that last week I had our church Christmas dinner on my mind. And this week I didn't cook Christmas stuff because the way it is, you have to plan at least 1 week in advance or more to do the recipes. And I'm so far behind trying to do so many recipes till I didn't really concentrate on Christmas this week. But next week I'm going to have my headband on. I'm going to have Christmas. I do have a Christmas shirt on, but I'm going to get in full mode Christmas next week, and hopefully I'll have all my decorations up. So thank y'all so much. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to count your blessings and try to stay safe if you go out, and stay warm. And I love y'all, and I will be back on Monday. Carla will be with me on next week. And then I got 1 more full week by myself or with Carla. And then Linda will be back on the 23rd. So love y'all. Have a blessed day. And thank y'all for joining me. Bye-bye.